Shalom, 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 shalom. It's your brother Iwana representing the Warriors for Yahweh Shai, Michigan camp. Before we start off, I want to give all praise, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai Bahashim, Rakat Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, rule well, that teach well, that taught us truth, and hearty shalom for Ada Akim, Akwa Tunin, shalom, shalom. All right, now we're going to get it straight into the lesson. Lord willing, sets us edified. So we're going to get this one first.
Front door.
Through front door.
How did he break through your front door?
He rammed it and just got to it.
Hey, what's up, Holmes?
I didn't know what to do.
No, stop!
All right, now you're going to see more crazy people. You're going to see more people bucking up. You're going to see more people, acting out of the ordinary. You're going to see people bugging out, man. Acting very chaotic in these end times. All right, if you didn't know, Yahweh is sending his son, Yahweh Shai, which the world actually called Jesus Christ, all right, to judge the world, all right, to come and save, all right, the elect of Israel, which are these so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, now every single one of us is going to make it. Only the elect is going to make it. All right, but the rest of these heathen nations, 2/3 of our own people, they're going to be totally destroyed, man. All right, and a lot of them, they're going to go into a lower state. People are going to be experiencing that Jacob's trouble, the famine, the MOTB, World War III, all these different things are supposed to play. So let me get this scripture, Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So people are going to get more and more crazy. People are going to get more and more cold. People are going to go bugging out, man. All right. It says the body cam footage from the Yuba City Police Department in California shows a naked man attacking police with a shovel while resisting arrest. Officers deployed tasers and batons on the man multiple times before firing their weapons. After the man was shot, he was taken into custody and transferred to a nearby hospital where he remains as of March 23rd. So if this man was an Israelite, man, he would have been done. They would have shot him down. They put him to death. All right, but because he's an Edomite, because he's a so-called white man, hey, man, they only shot him with a taser. They put him down, and he's in the hospital. Okay, but hey, in reality, if it was one of our people, it would be over with. All right, let's get another one.
Troops to Iran, because there are now multiple reports saying that thousands of American soldiers will be receiving some kind of orders in the next few hours, which would mean that this is the first step of sending troops to Iran. At this moment, we've got 3 different reports. One from Axios, another one from the Wall Street Journal, and another one from Reuters that states that the United States 82nd Airborne Division could be deploying within the next few hours, at least getting their orders within the next few hours. And those numbers, how many troops? 3,000. And we're not talking about just any kind of troops. We're talking about the 82nd, who's kind of like your go-to group in case things escalate extremely quickly. And I know what you're saying. Wait a minute. If we were planning to have this war with Iran, have these guys been over there already? In which I say, this is clear signs that the United States was not prepared to have boots on the ground inside of Iran. I need to add that this is more than just routine deployment, because according to the reports, it states here that the division's headquarters and the full brigade command team are also being told it's time to go. These troops are in addition to the other 5,000 Marines and sailors that we reported on just last week, meaning that we could be seeing up to 8,000 U.S. service members sent over to the Middle East. What is actually happening? The real nit and gritty of it all is that the United States is kind of planning for multiple scenarios. Even though Trump is saying that he's still having diplomacy with Iran, there still needs to be contingencies, backup plans. And so that's why you're seeing, troops coming from Japan or from the United States and other things happening to prepare for different scenarios. Things like we've said before that they should have planned for in the beginning, but now they're making up for that by sending things along now. One report states notices should be sent out to the 82nd within the next few hours. That has not happened, at least at the time of this video, which is around 3 p.m. Eastern time. But if it does go out, sure to let you know, so please do share my videos and follow me for more. Is the United States now sending troops to Iran?
All right,
Because
so they're talking about sending more troops to Iran, man. All right, which we already knew this was gonna happen. All right, you could see clear as day that it was gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna get one more article going into that, then I'm gonna read.
Are heading to the Middle East to join the war with Iran. More American troops, we're learning tonight, are heading to the Middle East to join the war with Iran. More than 1,000 from the 82nd Airborne Division. Two sources familiar with the matter tell NBC News they will soon deploy to the Gulf. This as President Trump just tonight appeared to be already declaring victory.
This war has been won.
At the time he was speaking, we filmed this. Iranian cluster bomb exploding over Tel Aviv.
We're actually talking to the right people, and they want to make a deal so badly.
For now, the war is intensifying. Israel today announced new massive strikes on what it described as Iran's main production site for explosive material. U.S. airstrikes aren't slowing down either, hitting around 500 targets a day. And Iran is still firing on Israel around the clock. Some missiles getting past air defenses. This one destroying a residential building in Tel Aviv.
You can see behind me the scene. We have a scene of a missile attack. The missile hit the asphalt, making a large crater.
But back-channel diplomacy does appear to be taking shape. Pakistan today offered to mediate between the U.S. and Iran. Two sources telling NBC News in-person negotiations could happen in the coming days. But not everyone wants a quick exit. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu says Israel will keep attacking Iran and Lebanon until Israel's aim is achieved. And Saudi Arabia.
All right, so this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, and I'm gonna get it from 33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms, and the women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right, so in these wars, World War III, man, is going to be the end-all, be-all. This is going to be the last war, the last hurrah. Okay, and whoever is sent over to World War III, they're not going to come back, man. All right, whoever is sent over there, they're going to die, man. All right, let's get another one.
People, you know what the word insolvent means, right? It means that Trump took the world's greatest economy and bankrupted it. We don't make enough money to pay our bills now under Trump. Do you understand what that means? Are you able to understand the impact that's going to have on your life? Hey, Trump people, you know what the word
More.
You can't fire a gun without ammunition, and if the new Illinois bill passes, you won't be able to buy ammo without a serial number on it. House Bill 4414 would require ammo manufacturers to serialize every round they make and sell in the state. It would also create a state handgun ammunition database, and it would impose an up to 5-cent tax on each round.
I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but I'm definitely against it. It's an increase in taxes, and I'm not in favor of it. In fact, I think that it very well may be unconstitutional.
So you've had a chance to look at the bill. How do you feel about it?
I don't think I can say that on TV. I mean, it's a piece of something, but it's not legislation. It's
Dateline state representatives, Republican John Cabello, Democrat Dave Vella, both oppose the bill. Cabello says the bill isn't very practical.
It's not in any way, shape, or form. Who's going to do this? Law-abiding citizens. Do you think the criminals are going to worry about this is a law now, we got to go out and buy, ammo from? No, they're going to get it from other states.
No proof of work, and I think if it was challenged in the courts, it would be unconstitutional because it would infringe on the Second Amendment.
Gun owners who have unserialized ammo in public would be committing a Class C misdemeanor under the law. Manufacturers would be guilty of a Class A misdemeanor if their ammo in the state doesn't have a serial number.
It came from a good place, but it's ill-advised. That's all I would say.
Law enforcement's not going to go door to door checking ammunition.
Both say it's not likely the bill will go very far. In Rockford, Georgia, Eyewitness News. You can't fire a gun with...
All right, so this is Ezekiel 7:23. It says, Make a chain, for the land is full of bloody crimes, and the city is full of violence. Right, going into America. America's full of violence. It's full of blood. This place is full of crimes and wickedness. All right. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. So yeah, this city is done for, man. All right, Babylon the Great, which is America. This is Ezekiel 24:9. Therefore, thus said the Lord Yahweh, woe to the bloody city. I will make a pile of the pile for great fire. So, you know, um, America's going to go to World War III, man. All right, and they're going to face off against Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, all these different countries. All right, and they're going to shoot those missiles. All right, and those missiles is going to end this society. It's going to end this rulership. Is the whole world going to be destroyed? No. Certain places are going to be hit. Israel's going to be hit. America's going to be hit. Russia, places like that might get hit as well. But the only place that's going to be totally destroyed is Babylon the Great, which is America, according to Bible prophecy. All right, so let's get to this.
That are coming in. First responder has been a major explosion at an oil refinery. This right here, Arthur, and this facility right here is the Valero facility, processing roughly about 360,000 barrels to 400,000 barrels, any different kinds of fuel. Obviously, in all the photos and videos that we're seeing a giant column of smoke. There's different angles that are coming in. First responders rushed to the area and put in a shelter in place. That shelter in place is just west of Port Arthur. On top of that, right now, according to the sheriff, they said that more than likely this explosion was caused by an industrial heat. While initial reports are still coming in at this time, they're stating that there are no injuries. Of course, that could change as more information does come in. This, of course, is a major problem, even if we were not in war with Iran, because this being disrupted for X amount of days could cause the price of oil to go up. As soon as we have any new information on this, I'll be sure to let you know. So please do share my videos.
All right, so this is Revelation chapter 18 and 9. It says, Lament for Babylon. All right, and I want to get it from 7. It says, matter of fact, 6. Matter of fact, 5. I get it from 5. Matter of fact, 4. It says, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, and speckled birds. You might look like other nations, but you really go back to the Israel. It says that you be not partakers of her sins, that you receive none of her plagues, right? Because America's going to be judged with those nuclear missiles, with famines, with plagues, all type of destruction. And the Lord is telling you to repent, come out of the ways of America. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, Yahweh have remembered her iniquities, all right? So the Lord he remember everything that this place has done, He's going to judge these people for all the wickedness. It says, reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she had filled to her double. So the same way that America has rewarded people with missiles, destruction, bloodshed, rape, robbing, and murdering, the same way that these heathen nations is going to reward America. It says, how much have she glorified herself, lived deliciously, right? Us Americans, the ways of this society that's ran over here, people live very great. They glorify themselves, they prideful. It says, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen and no widow, and she'll see no sorrow. So America thinks, this place go on and on forever, without being judged. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death, mourning, and famine. She shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. So that's what's coming to America, all right? Plagues, judgment, mourning, death. It says, Revelation 18 and 9, the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, all these heathen nations that was packed with America, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, stand afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, from 1 hour is thy judgment comes. So in 1 hour, this place is going to be totally destroyed, man. All right, according to Bible prophecy. Let's look at this.
Cents. And I laughed. My last paycheck was $4.27. And I laughed because I thought to myself, $4.21 don't even cover a gallon of gas to put in my car. TSA agents are considered essential employees. Therefore, we're legally required to report for duty whether there's a shutdown or not. And so still have to come and show up and do our jobs, whether we're being paid. This kind of instability with our pay is something that not only will trickle down into the air, but it trickles down into our lives with our homes and our families. It has impacted my ability to pay my bills because we're literally not getting paid. I personally have had to make the difficult decision whether to put gas in my car to go to an unpaid job or to pay my light bill so that I can warm my house at night. I've also had to sacrifice my pride to ask family and others for assistance. My mother, for example, had to give me money so that I can pick up my medication, which is something that's essential. If the shutdown continues, the damage is going to be insurmountable. We have had 3 months to recover from 3 shutdowns in 5 months. I believe that it's going to take a financial and emotional and mental exhaustion on TSA agents, one that will take a long time for us to recover from. My last paycheck was $4.20.
So Proverbs 11:4, it says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, righteousness delivered from death. So, money is never going to be able to save you in these end times, in the apocalypse, in Jacob's trouble. The only thing that's going to save you is being righteous, having faith, repenting, calling upon the true name of Jehovah Shem Yahushua. All right? And again, like I said, all these troopers, they're getting sent over to World War III. It's over, man.
From MAGA is, well, Obama dropped bombs too. Yeah, he did. And he did it better. Obama was able to use surgical strikes and limited military operations to take out and not start a fucking war. How about that shit? He did it better. In fact, most of the things that the Trumpies like about Trump, Obama did better. We'll go with climate. Obama did better. Economy. Obama did better. Deportations. Obama did better. He was able to deport way more people than Donald Trump, and he's able to do it on 1/10 of the freaking budget. Yeah? And without sending fucking goon squads into American cities. Obama did better. Obama was able to get across a healthcare bill. Trump can't. Obama did it better. Obama was able to get tax cuts for the low and middle class. Trump, for the upper class, for the rich. Obama did it better. So trying to say that Obama did it too on any subject just shows the failure and the failure of his people to recognize that everything that Trump said Obama did it fucking better. They just don't like that.
No, it's outrageous. And look, it's almost $7.
Drivers reacting to San Francisco gas prices that are going for, yes, $6.57 a gallon. Regular unleaded at this Chevron station, $5.96 on average in San Francisco.
The Bay Area is paying close to $2 more than the national average for gasoline, which is absurd. We should be at $1 more.
That's Jamie Court, who heads the nonprofit Consumer Watchdog. We also spoke with UC Berkeley's Severin Bornstein, an expert in the industry.
Right now, gas prices are actually up more than you would expect given where oil prices are, but I think the market is just trying to catch up with the oil market, and the oil market, of course, is still extremely volatile.
Several states have dropped, suspended, or paused gas taxes to lower driver costs amid the war with Iran. Bornstein is against that.
Yeah, I think a state tax holiday is pretty problematic because I think it's hard to reinstate it.
Unlike Bornstein, Court believes that price gouging is happening right now across the state of California. He believes we should be at around 87 cents above the national average in California, not $2.
Well, the numbers don't lie. Refiners are making $1 more per gallon than they did in January. They're making $1.50 a gallon, and based on 2 years of historical data, that's as much as they have made at any time or any month in the last 2 years.
Price differences certainly can be seen.
Empty at this gas station in San Francisco because across the street where I'm standing, it's more than 40 cents cheaper.
As for who is to blame, Court believes the governor should be doing more to regulate refiners.
Trump can be responsible for 66 cents in increased costs because of the increased cost of crude. Newsom's responsible for that extra $1 that refiners are charging us that they shouldn't.
Of course, Trump can end this at any time by just declaring victory.
Still, though, some drivers trying to make the best out of the situation.
Dealing with it, but not happy about it.
Yes. We just think that,
Bro, this pack of 7 kidnapped.
So ICE starts to show up at our airports this morning. I think we just need to remember what the fuck is going on. There is context to this. Is it scary? Yes. Is it horrifying? Yes. Is it terrifying? Yes. But there's a reason this is happening. Trump is saying he is sending ICE to the airports because TSA is clogged up and the lines are so long, and ICE is going to go support them. And even though we know that's bullshit, we still have to remember why TSA grown up and why the lines are so long and why 30 to 50% of TSA staff aren't showing up to work. It's because of Trump and the Republicans. Currently, there is a partial government shutdown. Just the Department of Homeland Security is shut down, which both ICE and TSA fall under. The reason there is that shutdown is because Republicans are refusing to go to the table where Democrats are saying, can we just get ICE to not wear masks? Can we just get ICE to wear body cameras? Can we just ensure that when ICE smashes your window, that they at least have a warrant to do so? And Republicans are saying, no, we are going to protect ICE and their unlawful activities so fucking hard. You're going to shut down the Department of Homeland Security to do so. And when you shut down the Department of Homeland Security, you're fucking up TSA. So this is what authoritarian and fast governments do. We have to remember.
I know by now y'all heard about that 7-day grape festival that went down in Nigeria. And I'm not talking about Welch's grape. I'm talking about Jeffrey Epstein minus the luxurious life behind it. More so like Punch. How they did that little gorilla punch. Yeah, more on those type of activities. And you know who was behind it? A chief priest and several village leaders. They put together this 7-day grape festival. And people justifying it because they were like, well, at least they notify everybody in the village that if you're outside after a certain time of the day, if you're a woman, then it's going to be your body, but our choice, what we're going to do with your body.
And that's really biblical, man. You know, even though grape, you know, that shit is messed up. You know, it's a crazy context, but it's a biblical way of doing things, man. That's even in the scriptures, you know. But you know, the times that we're coming into, it's gonna be very terrible for you women, man. You know, and for the most part, you know, women, they have this mindset where they're like, you know, I could do what I want. You know, it don't matter. In times, people gonna be bugging out. All right. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I can get it. So it's I'll grab it. Where's the scripture at? All right, Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame will cover her, who said unto me, where is the Lord thy God? My eyes shall behold her. Now she'll be trodden down as a by of the street. So a lot of women, they're gonna be catching the hell out there, man. You know, Micah 7:10. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where's the Lord thy God? So, you know, they laugh and mock you, you know, like, oh, where's your Lord? He's supposed to be taking care of you. But in the times when you come, you're going to see this shit happen more and more. All right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. You know, I just wanted to hit a couple points. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. You know.
Have their mask on in the airports today, and the amount of black and brown ICE agents I've seen, Lord. Exhibit B, Exhibit C right here. Like, I know things are rough, but out of all of the government jobs that you get as people of color, y'all couldn't pick something else. I don't know.
And I don't blame TSA for not showing up or not doing their job right effort. Because who would? Would you really show up for work and not see money for days, weeks, or months? Show up for work and deal with hundreds of thousands of people every single day and not make a penny of it, of the money that you're working for months. Nobody would do that. So the people that showing up to continue their job, I really commend them, because I would never in my right mind show up for a job that doesn't give two fucks about paying me. And then what makes matters worse is whoever made the decision, we know, has shipped ICE in to these airports to assist with what's going on, right? Do you know what ICE is doing? They're just walking around. They're not security checking. They're not assisting with the congestion. They're walking around, probably looking for their next victims. And what makes matters even worse is they're getting paid to do that. They're getting paid to walk around the airport and scope out people who they think fits the profile or fits the description, right? But the TSA agents that are actually doing what we need them to do to get to our next destination are not seeing any money, and they don't know when they're seeing money again. So if you do have to fly, remember to get to the airport at least eight hours ahead of time if going into a big international airport, and make sure that you give the TSA agents who are there grace, because they are not seeing any money right now. But this is walking around the airport getting paid what they get paid to do nothing.
So with that being said, hey man, show on.